It's snowing outside in Des Moines, but inside another banner matchup. UConn and Kansas about to collide for the right to go on to the Sweet 16 and the South Regional, which will be held next week in Louisville, Kentucky. There are the Huskies. Winners over Colorado on Thursday. Perry Ellis helped lead Kansas past Austin Peay in the first round, and there they are, Kansas and UConn. Kansas with a championship in 08. UConn with 4 national titles since 1999. These heavily pedigreed programs about to meet. Hello, friends. Jim Nance, Grant, Billy, Tracy alongside. You got a little psychology here to deal with. UConn loves this time of the year and performs. Meanwhile, the Jayhawks have struggled the last 2 years, have not gotten out of the round of 32.
And despite Kansas's recent struggles in the tournament, this team is experienced, they're confident, balanced, they're versatile, they can do so many things out there, but they got to bring their A game against this resilient UConn ball club.
No question, they got to get after it, no question about it. Kansas is going to be thinking about it a little bit. I think Miller needs a big game. He didn't play well the other day. Hamilton, another guy. We know what Bryman can do. He can control the D, but they need some punch up front.
All right, so let's take a look at the first 5 on each side. The Huskies actually start 3 seniors with Gibbs, Miller, Nolan. They were led by Purvis, the former NC State Wolfpack player, with 19 against the Buffaloes. And there you see Ellis, the lone senior starter for the Jayhawks. He had his personal NCAA tournament high of 21 in the win against the Governors. Bill Self, 13th year. Once again, his team won the Big 12 regular season title and tournament title. 12 straight years they won the regular season. Kevin Ollie has never lost an NCAA tournament game on the bench, winning his first 7, including the championship in 14. Ball tapped around, scramble for it. Selden will take it for Kansas.
Jim Nance, Grant Hill right now. UConn goes. Minimum.
And Jayhawks, the #1 overall seed of the tournament, with the opportunity to wear the home whites. As Ellis does a beautiful drop step. It slides off the rim and is pulled away by Hamilton. You haven't seen the Huskies this year. This kid, #5, can do it all.
Absolutely. I'm not surprised they don't pick up a charge on that move by Ellis. You know, everybody knows he's going to do it.
This is Purvis. Takes it to the paint and back out with it.
He's an attack guy. He's more of a spot-up shooter.
Send it into the photographer row.
A little bit large, Grant.
Yes, indeed. Number 33, coming from the weak side, Lucas. Tremendous block on Mr. Gibbs. But there's some concern right there on that first play for Kansas. UConn driving to the basket, dribble penetration. That's what they're known for. Also adept at drawing fouls with that penetration.
5 to shoot for the Huskies. Miller fires it. And they go ahead and honor the violation, denying the Jayhawks to maybe get a little run out.
That's funny. Once you get the ball, maybe an adjustment in the future. You got control, just keep playing.
I agree.
Right? Now, this is a very tough offensive team. Donovan Lucas has solidified the nice denial.
Purvis.
Off the D. Generally, it's a shot block or a rush shot. But reading the passing lane, he can go to the tip.
Coach, that's what UConn has to do. They have to pressure the ball. They have to take Kansas out of their comfort zone as they execute their offense and try to get turnovers.
Graham,
nice pass.
Dumps it down low, and fouled is Lucas.
I think it may have been Nolan on the side, but what an entry pass to the big fella.
The big fella's upset he didn't finish this thing off, but look at Purvis with the steal and the dunk.
Well, he is strong going to that rim. Just love his attack mode. But right here, the ability to get a good angle, walk you up the lane. Kansas does it better than most teams in the country. Nice entry. Lucas with a chance for 2.
Whistle on Hamilton. And Landon Lucas, junior from Portland, he has certainly come on. And his teammates happy to see it, too. They have a lot of confidence in him.
He's got some friends on the team, so to speak.
Yes, he does. Coach sought the counsel of the other 4 starters. Kind of wanted to hear what they thought. They didn't want to throw anybody under the old proverbial bus, but wanted to know who they thought should be their 5th.
And they got the right guy. They looked at one of them and said, you know, he works hard, coach. He can rebound, defend.
fouls in the first game against Austin Peay. They have to guard the perimeter without fouling.
Hamilton right over Selden.
Well, that's going to loosen things up because they want to get in that lane, as you alluded to, Grant. Nobody gets back.
Selden able to match it at the other end.
How does that happen? Nobody getting back, identifying, and now they're talking about it. Purvis and Hamilton, but the range and distance.
Look out here. Ellis, Gimpy, and heading toward the Kansas bench.
Tough kid, too. He just said, I'm all right.
Let's hope he is. Yeah. Too many injuries here this evening in these ball games.
We've seen a lot, particularly Indiana. And he's the heart and soul of that team. You know, Mason is one of the guys that runs the show, but he's so meaningful. They claim it's knee to knee, so that's a good sound.
Hamilton to Miller.
And not bad inside. They come with the double. Nobody dove. See if they come again late.
Over Traylor. And it bounces out. Lucas. Got a block, a rebound, a couple of free throws.
And three guys in the perimeter can really do things with the dribble or the deep shot.
With Graham and Mason out there, you have almost 2 point guards as Graham gets going.
He didn't score on Thursday against Austin Peay. He had 6 assists, no turnovers. He didn't care, but he's certainly capable of filling it up.
And Jim, that speaks to the balance and the depth that Kansas has. Graham, the MOP for their conference tournament, not scoring and still being effective.
Well, they do have some studs out there, no question. Once again, they want to establish Miller, and they go to him. Nice little dribble.
As you see the left knee being held there for a moment by Ellis. Watch that left knee, knee to knee.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Devontae Graham on a later possession hits the three. The last 6 points to Kansas. Foul was on Traylor.
And the point Grant alluded to, three guys can run the team as well for Kansas and still spot up and drill shots. Really tough to defend.
Here's a three. It's off the mark. Pulled down by Selden.
No concern if they tough shots, not getting back. Transition D.
Lucas down low.
Mason, stutter step. Takes it outside. Selden drives on Brima. And Brima's whistle with that one. Watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming devices with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now, ncaa.com/March Madness, or download the app today. Selden to the line for a pair.
And Coach, on that last play, I love Selden attacking the basket, going at the big fella Brima. You don't avoid a shot blocker. You go right at him and make him make a decision, and right there, Brima picked up the foul.
And that's good news there. Hunjin came back, saw him stretching at the end of the bench. Now he's going in the game. He heals quickly.
He's going to come in for Traylor.
And they do have some deep rotation, though. A lot of confidence going in there. Bragg, another guy.
Imagine their practices, Coach.
Oh, boy.
All that talent.
Great competition. Nice hustle, Selden.
Put back for two.
Well, he is strong, aggressive. Roxbury's finest. Nice player here in Adams, Jim.
Yeah, Jalen Adams coming in to the game. Here he is. He being the one who launched the 62-foot shot in that 4 overtime game against Cincinnati in their conference tournament. Over the back, Brima. Brima's second. Well, it didn't take long. Little spurt here at the top for Kansas. Up 10-5 on the Connecticut Huskies. Brima of UConn's picked up a couple of quick fouls. Let's get a quick report here from Tracy.
Well, Jim, we did see Perry Ellis return after knocking that left knee. I watched him on the bench. He was in a lot of pain. They gave him some pain medication. They rubbed some icy hot on it. Then he did some running up and down the tunnel. Looked at the athletic trainer, said he was good to go, but certainly something to watch, Jim.
Yeah, right above the kneecaps.
Painful. They use a lot of that on Grant's arm when he played. But I see hot just
from all those touchdown throws, the three-quarter court.
You trying to say I shot too much, Coach?
No, that's what I thought he was saying. I was trying to give you a break.
An inference of sorts.
UConn comes to a 2-3 zone here to try to do
the tough high-low. I was just going to say, they just salivate when that happens. Pop to the foul line. You bring the middle man up, dive to the rim.
Boy, they finished it off with Lucas. And UConn usually buckles up on defense. They force poor shooting percentages, 38% by the opponent this season. Miller up high with that one.
He's looking for it, though. I like that.
I think UConn they need to get the pace up a little bit here, Coach. This is playing into Kansas's hands.
They're afraid of really going all out. Look at this, the way they, on the perimeter, knock shots down and set up the big game with Graham.
But, Coach, they have to. Kansas's defense is just too good. You got to get easy baskets. Great closeout by Selden.
Calhoun jumper, no. Kansas on a 13-point run.
Here's the problem, though. This team loves to run. If you make a mistake, they're going to counter.
Mason, head fake, corner, Graham for a third time, no.
Nice job checking out.
Long rebound out to Gibbs.
Good shots is what they were harping on, UConn staff.
Ooh, tough pass. Adams able to get there. Oh, but he lost the dribble. It's Graham who took it away from him.
Not a bad foul, though. Give it up. You make a mistake. The ability to find people at that soft spot and just unattended, and the big guy makes that move to the goal. Lucas, the team loves you.
And UConn, not really a zone defensive team. They prefer man-to-man. That's their bread and butter, and that's what's going to ultimately get them back in the game.
And on cue, they go to it.
Ellis, he's going to take the jumper. Look at that. That's a three.
And you know what happened, Jim? Lucas did such a good job when he went to the rim. He drew two guys with him. How about that ability to pop out there? Ellis.
And Kansas has hit 4 out of 5 triples.
Dangerous area. You got to get some good looks. Get to the free throw line. They're very good at that.
Nolan, not known for his offense.
They're going for it right away, Kansas.
Mason lost control of it. Now running out with it, the Huskies trying to break this streak, and they get the layup.
And that's what Connecticut trying to get turnovers. One of the best at converting turnovers on the other end.
Off turnovers, I don't mind it.
Hamilton's hoop breaks a 16-0 run for Kansas.
Lucas really does a good job. Not a good entry pass, but a save.
Selden saw a crease, goes outside with it. Graham thought twice. Mason. Lucas looking for an outside game.
Not quite his game out there. 0 for 1 from 3. Not that that was a 3.
Boy, Hamilton's dangerous in transition. Getting into the paint.
They keep cutting him off, but he finds the man in the corner. 3 is good by Purvis.
That's what they're looking for. They want to drive at a guy as well and look for some back cuts. Hold the attention with that dribble drive. 2-on-1. The offensive foul on Lucas, Jim.
Who delivered the Buick expectation-shattering performance of the day. Tune in to Inside March Madness presented by Buick and find out. The foul was on Graham, his first.
Right now, Mikhailuk in the game, who had a big 23-point game in 24 minutes against Austin Peay and showed a little bit of everything.
That's the most points by any Jayhawk off the bench in any game this year, the 23. Mikhailuk number 10. Here is Hamilton's jumper.
Tough. Mikhailuk really widens out the defense with his ability to shoot.
Mason tried to put the spin on it. Coming out with it is Purvis. He's got 1 on 3. He's going to take it, though.
How about that? I thought he should have brought it back out.
And the foul is called on Mikhailuk. It was 18-5 Kansas. Last 5 to the Huskies. the NCAA Tournament and Coke. Team up for great taste.
Your elocution and timing is impeccable.
Yeah, you know, those soundtracks, you just got to play with them a little bit.
A little thirsty over here, guys.
Yeah. 18-10 Kansas.
That's how Bill feels all the time.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When you mentioned beverage, you both looked at me. But right now, the pause that refreshes maybe is getting to the free throw line. This is their first attempt, Jim.
You're talking about the best free throw shooting team in the country. Coming off a 22 out of 23 in the win against Colorado. Comeback win it was. Oh, of course, the old announcer's jinx on the second one.
Well, Bill Self told the three of us we got to keep them off the foul line, and thus far, they've been very successful. A little pinch post action.
Carlton Bragg out on the floor for the Jayhawks as Ellis works hard for it. He'll have a chance to shoot two. It's called on Nolan.
And that was a good play, and right there, Nolan using his body and not giving Ellis enough space on that jump hook.
Tracy, what do you have?
Jim, you were talking about how good UConn is on the free throw line. In that 2014 championship season, they just lost. They missed 14 shots in 6 games in that tournament run. It was unbelievable. And how they do it, it's the Steve Nash drill. Kevin Ollie just blows the whistle. The players run to the line. They have to shoot 17 free throws in 60 seconds. If not, you run. Kevin Ollie says it's all about blocking out distractions, Jim.
I tell you, get 17 shots off. It's like that Papa shot video we saw with you and Grant the first game.
Oh, man.
He got overshadowed. Tracy put it to him.
Usually 53 points with 8-year-olds is enough to win. I guess not with Tracy.
Good forceful drive.
Purvis.
Little kiss.
Open lead this little comeback early stages. It was 13, the deficit down to 6.
I love how Kansas comes out of a timeout. They really do a job getting it inside, getting a good shot.
Luke. Underneath Bragg, no. Second chance.
Wow. He keeps playing like that on the glass. He'll have something to brag about. Inside position, you got to stick them. Good offensive rebounding team.
Hamilton. Adams from the corner. Oh, what a nice bounce.
And that was all made up. All happened because of Hamilton's dribble penetration. The most versatile player on the Huskies.
That's Ellis.
They got lucky, really. Nolan was absent.
Purvis. He's going to take it. He's not afraid.
I'll say, unabashed.
Gibbs.
Yep. Now, Jim Mikhailuk out there, that was an interesting recruiting story Bill told you.
How they recruited him. They recruited him without ever having actually seen him play in person.
It's amazing.
Just off film and some of the video they got in.
He's played in that Hoop Summit and went up and met the dad, right?
Yeah, he's played in a lot of international competition, Mikhailuk.
Nice.
Ellis, easy basket.
Easy, too easy, inline, out of bounds play, nice little flex cut.
Graham, you're right.
Good finish inside.
They execute, nice denial. This is where they thought they might get a step and go against him because they really get up on the wing denial.
Hamilton pulls up. They made him work hard every time he tries to dribble drive.
Numbers.
Yep, and Mikhailuk is hacked.
Well, he can run the floor. And Bill feeling this guy's got more to give, too. Able to fill the lane. And this is a nice run out. And this is the fear. You take a bad shot or miss, they punish you, don't they?
Without a doubt. And you know, Coach, hearing the guys on Kansas talk about him, they weren't surprised at his performance. They'd seen him play like this in practice as he misses his first free throw. But big production from Mikhailuk.
Sean Miller comes in as Adams has to be replaced, just picking up his second. Mikhailuk played for the Ukrainian national team, actually went against the best of the USA, met them in the World Championships, got some playing time, and his coach
The Czar.
How about that?
Michael Fratello.
Fratello.
He's taking credit for any show of ability.
You know he is.
Tough guy to get with all those phones.
Miller, hook shot, bounces out.
Put him, spotted him, put it back in. Good look that time.
Ellis drives, offensive.
I don't know about that one.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
That's just not a good play. Just strong, had the angle. I like his.
He was moving his feet.
Yeah,
Sean Miller. He wasn't. That was not a charge.
He's by him too. I love his temperament though, Ellis. You know, a lot of other guys be demonstrative, nice and easy. Takes a seat on the bench, as dejected as he might be.
But UConn needs Miller's production on the offensive end. He's really the only low post player for the Huskies.
There's another one.
Going back the other way with an offensive call on Gibbs. Hong Kong's finest meet LA's wildest. Don't miss the new action comedy Rush Hour series premiere Thursday, March 31st, only CBS.
You know, Connecticut hasn't played an A game, but they're just hanging around a little bit. They're toughen up on the inside play defensively. They get some opportunity, fast breaks. So they beg so well.
Trailer, not a threat very often to shoot it. Selden, he is though. Oh, what a beauty.
How about this kid? His confidence soaring. He wants to make up for lost time, having a big NCAA tournament.
Last 6 to the Jayhawks. Selden's made it tough for him in this game.
Oh, you're right.
Tough indeed. Great weak side defense, too. You talk about Selden's performance, the ability to come off a screen, Miller right in his face, but raise up. And as you say, nylon.
He's got a big-time body. He'll be able to buy a lot of nylon.
Kind of looks like, remember Quentin Richardson from DePaul?
Sure.
Yeah.
Has that kind of frame, just a big body, strong, so skilled.
Nice backdoor.
Here
I love
he
it.
is.
Oh, I love it. The old Pete Carrill down in Princeton smiling.
Oh, come on, Wolfie. You're going to get a lot of mileage out of this.
Come on, Grant.
Oh, man.
I like the stroke on the left. What'd the other guy ever do for a living?
Greg Gumbel in New York with an All-State Good Hands update in Raleigh over on TBS. Back and forth game between Butler and the #1 seed in the Midwest, Virginia. That's Anthony Gill, but Butler has just grabbed a 1-point lead, 47-46, Jim.
Wow, that's a good one. Great update, Greg. And the winner to face Iowa State in Chicago. A Friday-Sunday site next week in the regionals. And we got Selden at the line.
Big-time body for basketball, Jim.
Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament at NCAA.com. You know, when he was 15, 16 years old, growing up in Roxbury, Massachusetts, Selden was a huge UConn fan. That was his dream team. He thought he'd be playing there one day.
Sure, because of Shabazz, I guess, right?
Shabazz, another Roxbury guy. So is, of course, Jalen Adams, who's got 2,000 this game, is not seeing a lot of time. But he made one trip that Selden down to Allen Fieldhouse, and he was done.
Midnight Madness.
I'm going here, he said. 8-0 run for Kansas. The match now, the largest lead of 13.
Really trying to get Miller going. A nice pin down.
Got to get Hamilton going too. Has to go up high and try to get it over Lucas.
Everything's a struggle on the offensive end for UConn right now. Kansas playing great defense.
There they are. Tighten it up.
Here's Selden.
Good defense there by Purvis.
Just reached in, but
yeah,
he's tough, isn't he? And he can make shots, put it on the deck.
It's another one on Gibbs.
It's interesting to listen to those Kansas kids, Jim, the sense of history they have about their own program.
So they know it. Let me just correct that. That foul was on purpose, his first. There's been a lot of disappointment, though, this time of year, the last 2 years, for the nucleus of this team.
Right.
Getting knocked out in the second round by Stanford 2 years ago, and last year Wichita State.
And no one knows more than Selden. He wants to prove he can play. That's right.
I'll tell you what, this Kansas team is locked in early, understanding what's happened in recent years.
Look at this denial. What a great effort. He locked on to the cutter on the pin down, and that's just great effort. Still out there in time. Almost came up with one, too. This superior defense, as you alluded to.
Hamilton's got to come meet the pass on that play. Can't assume the ball's going to come to you, but Selden, that's what you want from your elder statesman, a guy that's just going to give that extra effort.
And how about a curl, too, when he's locking, right? Over the top.
Adams back in. They did not adjust the shot clock. No change of possession. 3 to shoot. In time, but off the mark for Miller.
UConn's getting good looks. They just can't convert, Jim.
They're shooting under 30%.
And Miller's the guy. They've gotten a lot of good shots. Just unable to convert. Tough shot.
Selden, Adams defending him. Going to stay here.
You can't give them second chances. They are relentless on that glass.
Sheldon took that shot over Adams, and those two have known each other for a long time, since they were in the 3rd and 4th grades.
Frank Mason here, where they say he was the funniest on the team.
Yeah, but also a stickler for detail. He's the one that can come up with a quick joke.
Oh, look at
Drop
this.
step move
Wow.
results in 2 for Lucas.
They're great at getting it inside, Grant.
Yes, they are. Great footwork of the big fella.
Last 12 to Kansas. Facey tries to set a screen. Adams steps in.
Nice.
Trailer absolutely slams it to the Kansas bench.
That trailer pays rent. That's his premise. How about this offside secondary D? Ooh, right over Lucas and company. Goodness. Keep it in play. That's what Coach will say, you know. Coach will play. That's a message block, though.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Patrick Ewing used to love that. First couple of times you came in, you know, he'd send it back there outside of Landover.
I remember in the finals in '82, first 5 possessions for North Carolina, goaltending by Patrick Ewing.
Brandon Green comes in for the Jayhawks. Connecticut has missed his last 7 shots. Gibbs trying to end that streak. Make it 8 straight misses.
Great job checking out, too. Doing a big-time job on the glass.
That's Mason.
Good check out.
And Adams jumps to the spot.
They got to get out here and get some easy baskets, Coach.
Tip, no. Second time, also off the mark.
Boy,
Enoch had a clean look at it.
It's unbelievable. Now, this is where you button it down and get some morale going.
It's 10 straight missed shots by the Huskies.
Now, Green, one of those guys that can really drill it.
Mason had it taken away. Huskies now have the numbers. Adams taken all the way. Taylor, it's clean, they say. At the other end, Graham between 2 Husky defenders, and it goes out.
Now that's what you call a real trailer. The ability to negate at the rim, not giving up on a play. LeBron-like in that rejection.
Yes, indeed. Trailer just making the effort. He almost knocked it into the basket. He hit it so hard.
Swat. Nice round of applause. That's why they're so tough, Jim. They're deep, big, deep, talented up front.
That kid gives them a lot, too, when he comes in. Instant energy. High energy guy. We saw it against Boston P the other day, and he came out and had steals, blocks, did a little bit of everything.
And what you love about him is he understands his role. He understands how he can be productive and bringing that energy, effort, defensive intensity, big body. What luxury Bill Self has over there on that sideline.
He won't blow a gasket over that one.
We'll have to explain that.
Yeah.
Here's Graham, steps up to the 2, and Kansas pads the lead now at 19. They've had 4 shots blocked. They've only canned 6 shots.
Look at the help and stretch out.
Kansas had a season-high 9 blocks on Thursday. Got 4 more today.
Green's size and length, they look like an open look taken away.
Huskies scoreless for 6 minutes.
Oh boy,
and really adding to it. Ellis. Oh boy, this is getting out of control. Timeout. Timeout, Connecticut. Kansas on a blitz. 17 unanswered, with Ellis adding 3 more.
Coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament is sponsored by AT&T, Quicken Loans, and by Northwestern Mutual.
This entire season, UConn has never been down by 22 until now. Largest deficit of the entire season as Kevin Ollie is worked up on that sideline.
Well, I mentioned the gasket before. That's the favorite phrase the kids from Kansas say.
That Bill Self's favorite phrase, right?
Well, he blew a gasket in that huddle. Well, he is some competitor. Wherever you know it, I think he basically was saying, Grant, I could draw anything up you want, but if you don't go play and compete, we can't get back in this.
Can't coach effort.
Right.
Well, there was an early 16-0 run by Kansas, and now we're in the midst of a 17-0 run. No one there. Mason.
Unbelievable. Mistakes they're not unaccustomed to making.
UConn disjointed on offense, but the help side defense of Kansas, how they react to the ball. There are no driving lanes, frustrating this UConn offense.
I think they've got to run some plays. They're settling. Here's a little open look. Finally, Gibbs
with the triple. First field goal in over 7 minutes.
Going a little zone here. 1-3-1. Remembering the passing ability of the bigs. Here's the rotation.
Again, that sweet spot right there at the free throw line, Coach, as you talked about.
There it is again, and Green can really shoot on the wing, too. They got to be careful. Nice screen.
Ellis leans in.
Loves that spin.
He does. Very effective. Just a little bump, heads-up play. Who's your coordinator? Bragg that time. That's what I mean. You're going one-on-one from the get-go. I think you got to run some screens, some cuts, and then dribble drive with that, particularly late in the clock.
Gibbs grabs hold of it second time. Got tangled up with Mason. Kansas putting on the clamps, holding UConn to 25%, and look at the margin. Plus 14 rebounding.
A nice little play. They have a hit and follow to the corner or a flex screen. This time, no communication. Terrific execution. Ball movement to find down goal.
The coach outside shooting the ball from the perimeter. It's the team's social director, Devontae, portraying the stylish one, Mr. Ellis, knocking it down. Of course, Selden getting into the mix. The three-point shooting combined with the interior play of Kansas, just too much for these UConn Huskies.
Well, you never know. The first 2 games of the day, we saw leads like this in the first half. Wichita State was down big time to Miami. Over 20 points, came back, actually took the lead before Miami regained and won. And Yale was looking like it was going to get blown up by Duke, and then fought back and made it competitive at the end.
Could be
rejuvenated. The Blue Devils advanced.
We know this team is tough, resilient. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep fighting.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Get caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, updates, especially on that Virginia-Butler game. It's now inside 5 minutes to go.
And, you know, you look at all these Kansas players. Most of them made their decision on Midnight Madness. We did not have Midnight Madness, I may inform you, but they fall in love with the museum, which is Allen Fieldhouse, and the history.
I just love how passionate you are, Raft, about college basketball. You celebrate Midnight Madness virtually 365.
Yeah, Midnight Madness for me is when the lights go out. Last call, I heard him say.
Oh.
I had to change my hours being on the road with you.
I'm going to age
acclimated.
you. You look like a kid when we started. I'm going to age you before it's over.
UConn disjointed here on offense. Just can't get into anything.
Even here, they didn't really run their baseline grubs well.
Gibbs hit one a moment ago. Down to the rim and bouncing off this time.
Nice job by Ellis, too. Controlling his guy.
What Kansas can do with their bigs is help so well. Really respect the interior players of UConn. Always in the right, proper help position defensively, the Jayhawks.
Feed it down low. Ellis able to squeeze that one home.
And Selden with his size able to. That is a long post entry.
Oh, with the shooting and the players out there on Kansas that can knock down threes, the middle there is wide open for Ellis to operate.
That's the most first half points any teams put up against UConn this year.
They've not been able to get that back cut. Tried it there.
Purvis outside for a shoot. Hamilton.
A good ball movement, but how about the closeouts? Terrific recognition defensively. Goes in a deep jack.
Timeout, Kansas.
Bill's upset they gave up a field goal.
We got to talk about it, guys. You can't let that happen.
Jesus, get after it.
Oh.
We've had a wonderful time here in Des Moines, and this state right now is in very good spirits. Teams from Iowa, 4-0. Iowa State's already into Sweet 16. Iowa and Northern Iowa winning their first-round game. Still can't get over Northern Iowa's half-court heave winner.
It's unbelievable what happens at this time of the year.
Indiana's going to be playing its 100th NCAA tournament game now in the Sweet 16 against either North Carolina or Indiana in Philly on Friday.
This is one of the few states you can't say you have a home, right? Or call home, I should say.
I wish I did.
I know you've enjoyed it here.
Enjoyed the salmon fishing.
It's amazing. 5 in the morning with his waders on, going out the hotel door.
Got to try a little bit of everything. Can't prepare all the time. 10 to shoot, 18 on the game clock. Hamilton lost control of it. On it back out. Got to beat the shot clock. Gibbs back to the rim. Kansas has time to do something here.
Well, you're right. They're so sound with the checkouts, Jim.
See what Graham can do. 3 seconds to go and a travel call.
One of the few offensive mistakes that Kansas has made here in the first half. Graham, nice ball fake. Travel.
And even here, look at them playing right to the end. Just great defense. What preparation. You've got to be ready for everything. And they are.
UConn with its biggest halftime deficit of the season. By quite a bit. Running into a buzzsaw here. Jayhawks showing a little glimpse of why they're the #1 overall seed of this tournament. And let's go over to Tracy.
You just controlled that whole first half. How has the effort on the glass really helped open things up in this first half for you?
Well, if I heard you right, we're playing with a lot of energy. And we're doing a decent job of shrinking the floor and keeping them out of the paint. They made a few shots, but I thought our defensive rebounding was pretty good.
Yeah, and we were talking about how teams have just come back in this tournament so far from down big. How do you make sure your team just keeps their foot on the gas?
Well, the score's 0-0 at halftime, so our objective is to go out and play as well the second half and win the second half.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, they out-rebounded Connecticut 25-11 to support what Bill Self had observed. His Kansas team on a roll through 20 minutes, leading at 44-24. And we'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages.
AT&T at the Half is presented by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Halfway home in Des Moines, Kansas Jayhawks up by 20, 44-24 over the Huskies of UConn. Hey everybody, welcome back to our New York studios at AT&T at the Half. Ernie Johnson, Clark Kellogg, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley. Hope you're having a great weekend and watching a lot of hoop along the way. And so far, Kansas certainly playing the role of #1 seed overall to the hilt. Clark.
Yeah, playing great. Balanced, aggressive, and very effective at the defensive end of the floor. Got a big half from Perry Ellis. This is, again, the #1 overall seed in the tournament, and they're playing exactly that way. Nothing forced, everything within who they are. Wayne Selden, who was really terrific the first 2/3 of the season, had a little bit of a slump, but has found his stroke. Good activity and effort here as he gets his own missed free throw twice to get it up and down. He ends up with 12 points. Ellis had 13, but when he's knocking down that perimeter jump shot, he's very good at getting to the basket as well with his size and strength. When that jumper's falling, he's hard to deal with.
Won their opener by 26, Kenny, leading by 20 here in their second game.
Well, you know, they have all the components to be the national championship team. You know, they have size, they have depth, and they have great coaching. So you put those three elements together. You know, I think the size and strength surprised UConn early on, because I think typically they've been able to beat people off the dribble at a consistent pace. And today, they weren't able to do that because of the size. But then usually that size can't move laterally, Chuck, and kind of defend. And they defended them better than any team probably since postseason has started.
Well, you know, I was just getting ready to say that because, you know, normally UConn, and Kenneth talked about, they want to get up and down the floor, and they normally more athletic and explosive than the teams they play against. Kansas played great defense. Selden Jr. and Ellis, they were fantastic. That was a great performance. That was a great performance. And the thing we talked about is, you know, these higher seeds, and obviously #1 seed overall, their antennas are up now. Because they're watching the same games that we are. Like, there's no team is unbeatable. So I think that helps the team when they see all the upsets the day before.
Kevin Ollie 7-0 in the NCAA tournament, but his guys have some work to do in the second half. Meantime, Butler and Virginia, another #1 seed. The Cavaliers of Virginia and Reggie Miller just trying to play peacemaker.
That's 3 mascots there, America.
With the mascots, and London Perennis nailing the 3 right there for UVA.
And then the pilfer here by Keelan Martin from Butler. He'll go the distance. Butler was up 1. Then Mario Shayok almost throws it away. Fortuitous bounce, and look what I found, hoop and harm. And Virginia, after this Gill aggressive take, look at him work. Good solid pivot through contact. +9, but hold on.
And now it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, Virginia's at the line, though.
Yeah, that game is on TBS, by the way, in case you care to switch over there. So Virginia with a battle on its hands. As you predicted in our pregame show, you thought Butler could really give these guys a fight.
I really did, because they defend well, hadn't defended great this year, but they matched up well with Virginia, I thought, and offensively would have a chance. They haven't gotten the shooting from Kellen Dunham that they needed, and it looks like Virginia, by virtue of making some free throws, will be able to hold on and get away in this one. But Chris Holtman and his Butler Bulldogs are still alive because they match up well, and they've matched the grit and tenacity of this Cavaliers team tonight.
Now a 4-point lead for UVA. What's your take on Virginia and how far you think they can go in this tournament as a #1 seed, Charles?
Well, I think with Michigan State losing, they're obviously the clear-cut favorite in that bracket. I think they can make it all the way to the Final Four. The only problem is, and I said this for the last 3 or 4 years, they're a little bit better offensively, but to me, they're so methodical. If they want to keep the games in the 50s and 60s, and when they play against a team that's explosive offensively, I think they're going to struggle, because this game here has been nip and tuck the whole way. I think sometimes when you play great defense, you don't really experiment and improve your offense. But now with Michigan State being gone, I think they're the favorite in that bracket.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Chuck. And I think the one thing this year, though, I think they have a couple more guys who are more efficient offensively. So, you know, it tends to make those 60-point games now in the high 60s, low 70s like we have today, just because a couple of those guys, have grown as players, and they have a couple of new guys obviously coming in. But I think those players have gotten more efficient.
And Malcolm Brogdon, one of the great seniors in the country, All-American player.
And let me say one thing, looking at this bracket, the winner of the Gonzaga-Utah game, I think, has got a great chance to get into the Final Four also.
Moving on, Little Rock, surprise winner in their opener. Today, a little bit tougher against Iowa State after the win over Purdue, which was a double overtime 85-83 job, but man, Iowa State could shoot it.
This is one of the best offensive teams, one of the most efficient offensive teams. Great pass by Jamal McKee over there to McKay, rather, to get that one in. And George Niang, you like that, right? You like that little move.
Yeah, you got to jump, baby. You got to jump, don't you? You don't have to jump to score.
That's the Zach Randolph of college.
Keep it on the ground there. Matt Thomas is a laser. That actually was Jamil McKay with that nice assist running the floor. He had a strong game for the Cyclones. And, well, I tell you what, George Niang, back-to-back 28-point games, the first two of this tournament.
So Iowa State gets the winner of Butler and Virginia. It's the end of the road for Little Rock, and here's their head coach, Chris Beard.
I think this is my 22nd year in coaching, and every year when the season ends, the locker room's always filled with tears, myself included. I've cried every year, but I really didn't cry this year. No tears, because I'm happy, man. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my coaching career, because I just had a chance to coach these guys, and we had a special season. And so I'm really appreciative of our players taking me on this ride.
Great year for Little Rock. It ends 78-61 against Iowa State. Iowa State, as I said, taking on the winner of Butler and Virginia. Just 7 seconds left in that game. You can catch it on TBS. We'll be back with more here in New York right after this. It's over in Raleigh. Virginia has knocked off Butler, so it will be Virginia against Iowa State in the Sweet 16, Chuckster.
That's a tough game right there, because they have enough offense. And that's been one criticism of Virginia the last couple years. I don't know if they can score 75, 80 points, but Iowa State can score 75 to 80 points.
Scored 77 today and beating Butler 77-69.
Yeah, but that was a lot of foul shots down the end, so those were... So you can factor that in.
They've got a lineup, and I think he went to it a little bit in this game, a smaller lineup does Virginia that can score a little easier. They
have gotten better.
Yes, sir.
They have gotten better.
So I don't think
and they're still a good defensive team.
Exactly. Solid defensively.
But you still have to score.
Yeah, you got to
put a new thing they just put in the basketball.
No, I'm just,
you have to score.
Well, they were 19 of 26
We've established the fact that they have a better offensive team than they had to go with what's always been a good defense. Kenny?
That's new scoring?
Yeah, that's new. You have to score the play.
I do think when Malcolm and London are shooting the basketball, you know, they're a different team. You know, I got a chance to see London play. He's obviously from California area, where he was a big time scorer in high school. So, you know, he has that ability to knock down several shots in a row, and that opens up the opportunities for Virginia as well.
That is all for us for now. Thank you for watching AT&T at the half. We'll get you back out to Des Moines for UConn and Kansas second half right after this.
AT&T at the half is presented by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Kansas is led by Ellis out of the locker room with 13. There's Selden with 12 points. 20-point bulge heading to the final 20 minutes. We'll return to Des Moines after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Let's go.
Coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament is sponsored by Lowe's, Burger King, Napa, and by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
You got 3 seconds left.
Randy beat you. I demand a recount.
Oh, you got living large at the Iowa Hall of Pride. Man, oh man, I'm so glad that young lad and was able to pull off the victory there.
You know, we might have to call Dr. Rotella. You've been beaten up badly here. You need some counseling.
It's been a rough week for me.
You can tell he's a running back's son, right?
The last time he threw a football pass, he found Leitner.
That's true.
The distance was too close on that.
That's probably what it was. Tell me, guys, give me a little clue here what we're going to see out of UConn to start this second half to at least try to give them a breath of a chance.
Yeah, without a doubt. We saw that in their last game in the first round. They came out and responded in the second half. Really, it's about effort. It's about pride personally and collectively as a team. We'll see what they're made of here in the second half, Coach.
Okay, just run some offense, Jim.
Tracy, let's check in with you. What do you hear?
Well, Jim, expect to see some more backdoor cuts. Kevin Ollie really didn't like the ball movement from his team. He said his team was just standing there. They were like they were just sitting on a plane. They need to move more. They need more rhythm in both offensively and defensively. They need to come out and play in the second half. And he told them right before the half, just believe. Jim?
All right, second largest, Tracy, halftime deficit in school history. And fellas, I was looking at the Axe first half stats and noticed that Kansas 56% from the field. UConn doesn't allow the opponents to do that ever.
I don't know if they played anybody with this high-low game and inside impact, though, Jim. That's part and partial of why they're ahead by this margin. Pretty. There you go.
That's Brima off the pass from Hamilton. Actually, two opponents this year shot over 50%, but not this high. Houston did in a win up at Gamble Pavilion, and then SMU did as well. But Kansas on fire in that first half, as the Huskies shot only 26% in the first 20 minutes.
Jim, if we've learned anything through this tournament, you got to play 2 halves, 40 minutes of basketball. As Miller gets a block shot on Mason.
A little spark right now, an early look.
Especially if this goes, and it does, Purvis.
Wow. This program has such pride, it does not surprise me that they come out giving it a real good shot.
And we saw earlier today in the Duke-Yale game, Duke was up by 30 points in the first half, but Yale got back in it, made it a close game down the stretch. Let's see if UConn can do the same.
Mike was trying to keep your dad happy, probably.
Selden.
Pretty. Selden is heard, but when he does, he clicks. In or out.
Yale in the tournament this year with that first day shocker, but their first tournament appearance since 1962 when a Billy Packer led Wake Forest team that beat them in the NCAA tournament.
And you know, I was at the game in the Palestra. Believe it or not, I was in the stands. I said, who's that little guy? He'll never amount to anything.
It was Billy. Here's Purvis.
Bill, you're everywhere, Bill. I mean, geez. Where's Waldo? It's where's Raph?
We haven't come up with a game he hasn't been said I was there.
I'll just make it up.
Yeah, it works. How do we know?
Well, Lenny Chappell was there, and he actually pushed off and fouled on a long pass, much like Grant's. And Yale, I believe, missed the free throw.
Still doesn't confirm you being there, but
that's right.
Well, they didn't have TV in those days.
Ellis, who led them in the first half. Getting a few minutes in here because of foul issues.
And I really respect what Kansas has done both in the first half and here now in the second half. Going at the big fella. Don't avoid him. Try to go at him inside.
Nice play, fronting. A little more juice in it. Even though Brima fouled, a little more activity, and then Miller with the deflection.
Brima has 3 fouls in 3 minutes of action. Mason steps back for the 3. And Purvis didn't even have to jump for that rebound.
Now, Miller had some good looks early. See if they can get him going as well.
Gibbs.
Tough shot. And looking for the foul.
Cramp. He knows Selden's hanging out there.
Professional rebounder. Weak side, screen off.
Graham. Foul is called on Landon Lucas.
Looked like Hamilton and Graham were getting into it a little bit.
They're good to settle it right away, too. Adams back on the floor now. See if he can get untracked a little bit. What a talented guy he is.
And UConn really, you got to just possession by possession, commit to playing defense, securing the possession with rebounds, and on the offensive end, trying to get something to the free throw line, getting to the basket. As you said earlier, trusting your offense and not trying to do it with individual effort.
Adams in 8 minutes of action. He scored 2 points.
And Mason can really rag you, too, as he did there.
Kansas does a great job defending the ball screen.
Hamilton, long three.
Boy, he does have some range, and they got to get better shots than that. I think they're going to get back in it consistently.
Hamilton 3 for 3 from triple land. Selden.
No, he doesn't like that shot, Lucas.
Graham stuck. And that's Ellis trying to bounce it off Adams. And he does with 12 to shoot.
And as you said, Coach, maybe not the best shot, but Hamilton squares up. It's good rotation, knocks it in.
But they did it off a play, though. You know, high ball screen and a little pinch by the defense sets it up.
Nolan in for Brima. Now the biggest lead was 24 with about 4 minutes to go in the first half. They've trimmed 10 off of that. Selden takes it across and is tapped out to Hamilton.
Yeah, look at the balance, though. Can't get any easy baskets with their runouts.
Give UConn credit here defensively on the other end. Kansas struggling to find a rhythm on the offensive side. UConn stepping the defensive intensity up.
Purvis on the drive. Lucas defended it beautifully. Woo. Oh, he absolutely took it away from him. Blocked it, brought it down.
What a great presentation, though. That kid, you can see the impact he has on this lineup. Drop step.
Ellis. Surrounded, swarmed, Selden. Underneath, lost it. It's going to UConn.
And, Coach, you talked about the big fella, Mr. Lucas, contesting the shot, coming over. His hands are straight up, not putting him down and not getting a foul. That's why he's starting, because of plays like this.
Let's take a look at the Infinity Coaches Spotlight. 301 games, over 500 at Kansas, and coaching them to the national championship 2008 down in San Antonio. Overtime win against Memphis.
You know cool guys. Would you say Bill Self is a cool guy?
I'll tell you what, yesterday my first opportunity to interact with him, and he is so cool. But I'd be cool too if you had this team, one of the best in college basketball, these Kansas Jayhawks.
Right up there. Pretty good shadow defensively. That's what makes them a tough out.
Adams over Lucas, impossible. Nolan should have been able to finish that one off. As Adams almost took it away from Mason.
Yeah, Sullivan was begging down the corner. Nice entry. He's got a little hook going.
I give it to Ellis instead.
Well, why not? They drop, they double, sniff around.
The reverse high-low action there, inside out. I like the fact that Lucas didn't force it. Saw the double team and passed to Mr. Ellis.
Ellis is like a wise old owl out there. Love the way he guards, sees everything. Look where they're starting this offense.
Look at Hamilton. That's the first three he's missed. A long rebound comes out to Adams.
UConn needs more from Adams. Adams is that dynamic young guy who can get his own basket and just hasn't been able to get going here.
He's been guarded great. That's the problem. Either Mason or Graham, depending on who was on him on the switch.
Well, read the scouting report, Kansas, that is.
Turn and face.
Miller. And the rebound bounces out to Graham. Kansas moving it up the floor, and Mason will head to the line.
Well, they force you into a tough shot, and all of a sudden you get the run out, but A little reverse action here, Grant.
I love the patience of Lucas. Sees the double team, surveys the landscape, finds Mr. Ellis. But on the other end, UConn just standing around, not moving the ball from side to side. Bad offense leads to good offense for Kansas on the other end.
Who's going to make the most shots? Who has more points in the second half? Play the Capital One NCAA tournament run game on NCAA.com and in the March Madness Live app. Mason, a junior out of Petersburg, Virginia, was the second all-time leading scorer at his high school behind a guy named Moses Malone.
You questioned him, he knew.
Yeah. That name. Yeah.
And Bill, he claimed that his coach didn't play him enough his freshman year.
He had 72 points. He was upset.
It's amazing how they know their stats.
Moses just having passed away here in the last year. Far too young.
And we talk about the balance of Kansas as Hamilton drives.
Trying to give it up to Brima.
Kansas thus far 18 points in the paint and 18 from the three-point line, getting it done inside and outside.
And they just share it too. They didn't stick too long.
Ellis, Brima rejects that one. Huskies got the 3-on-2, and Gibbs has got one.
And that's because Brima ran and filled it up, kept the defense honest. A little push, maybe a little life, a little spark. The Huskies could use it. How about that, starting it? Look at the big guy get out in the lane.
Nobody declared the ball defensively in transition.
Right between the two defenders.
Pretty play. Of course, that was Hamilton filling the lane, excuse me, but Brima started it.
That broke a 3.5-minute field goal drought. It's a 15-point game.
Hanging around now. Yep. And get some confidence. Get a little flow on the offense. First time they've gone full.
You know, UConn is a team that can get going with their defense, creating turnovers and get on a nice 6-7-0 run and be right back in this game.
Traylor back in action for Coach Bill Self. Feeling like his team needs that energy jolt that he always seems to bring.
A little 1-3-1 now, corner jumper, weak side rebound.
3 to shoot. Graham guns it from far. Here comes Adams. Trying to get past Selvin, and he does.
Oh, nice. How pretty was that?
You think they know each other a little bit?
Yeah, exactly.
A little one-on-one back in Roxbury.
They used that rim to ward off, but the 1-3-1 got a deep jack.
They know each other. The families know one another. In fact, Wayne's grandmother and Jalen's mom, well, his grandmother is Jalen's mom's godmother.
We leave those details to you.
You know what? I stayed up all night trying to figure that one out.
I would have messed it up.
Still haven't. Here's Selvin stuck. Traylor.
Nice hands.
Gibbs.
And a shot clock violation. Boy, all of a sudden, applauding on the sidelines and the blow by here. Take that, you New Englander.
And Coach, that was all happened because of the defense. UConn feeding off their defense. You can see that there's some life now on this team. Down 13 to these Jayhawks.
And again, it had been 24.
They want to get into things a little quicker. Little fade screen. Runner's got to get to the rim.
Adams a little out of control. And there he is, Traylor. So strong on that defensive end. Does Ellis catch it in time?
Nice play. Thought he slapped it off.
It never went out.
Yeah.
Then Brima made the play to keep it in play. Hamilton wildly, and Selvin had him boxed out.
Got to finish that. Kansas is a little bit tired right now. Walking. So Mason actually taking a deep breath. He seldom gets tired.
That's Mason. Huskies now, they've had two.
A hold, a good call.
No, back-to-back empty trips, but now they got a whistle.
Mason, Jim.
On the Jayhawks. Frank Mason III. Chipping away a little bit here, fellas.
Yeah, they're hanging in.
Greg Gumbel in New York with a tournament update. Out in Denver, over on TNT, Gonzaga making a bid to knock off the #3 seed in the Midwest, Utah, at halftime. Gonzaga with a 15-point lead, 44-29. Jim?
Well, Greg, the Zags, one of the last teams to make it in with an at-large bid in this tournament.
If they didn't win that tournament, St. Mary's had beaten them twice. A lot of speculation they would have gotten in.
If they go on to win that game, they'll be playing the winner of Syracuse, Middle Tennessee State in the Sweet 16.
How about that?
Could be a little run ahead here for Coach Few's team.
Sure. They lost their backcourt. Pangos and Bell. Perkins and McClellan now. Doing a good job. Coach Wilshire's still around.
Huskies with 5 to shoot. Gibbs. Nice. Pass. Mikhailuk, and a foul is called on Traylor.
And what a tremendous hesitation
it was
by Gibbs. A little shake and bake action. Faked it, pull-up jump shot. Got Mikhailuk off his ground, and when you attack the basket, you get good things to happen. Gibbs getting to the free throw line where he's pretty much automatic.
I don't know if Sri saw that in the Ukraine, that little shake and bake too often. Do you?
You mean Coach Fratello didn't teach that? How to defend the shake and bake? A little hesitation.
Now Gibbs, he's had quite a journey to this point of his college career. He had signed with Maryland out of high school, and then Gary Williams decided he was going to retire. So he got out of that, went to Texas, transferred to Seton Hall, and because he was a graduate, had a chance to go play somewhere else for an extra year. Thought about maybe Ohio State. Looked like that was a done deal. Ends up at UConn.
He's a wanderer.
He touched a lot of programs.
And right now, don't look, down 11. All of a sudden, you think a little more if you're Kansas on the shot.
Selden, Mikhailuk, no field goal for 4.5 now for the Jayhawks. Lucas down low, Brima behind him.
That's his shot, too. Nice hustle. The work effort of Traylor.
Selden is hit with the body by Facey.
I'll tell you what, Kansas struggling here in the second half, 2 for 11 from the field. 3 turnovers leading to 6 points for UConn, but it's a game now, 11-point game.
Yeah, Kevin Ollie's got them to compete. I mean, they're really getting after it a little bit. They're not in awe right now. A little flex screen again.
Primus almost went up and swatted it. Chased down in the corner by Facey, and the Huskies have a chance to get it to single digits. Last time the margin was under 10 was at 24-16. Long ago.
Do they wall up defensively? A tough shot. And Mason getting a nice brawl. This is what's great about the guards now. Graham can run the point. Selden can as well. Not a good handle there.
On the floor, coming out with it is Purvis, and flushes it down. And from 24 to 9, the deficit has been reduced dramatically. It's a 9-point game with 9.5 to play.
How about the open floor? Send it in, number 44. Woo. Tough attacking the 10.
The NCAA tournament and co. Team up for great taste. 17-6. The Huskies have outscored the Jayhawks since the intermission to make this a game. And Tracy, what do you have?
Well, Devontae Graham came up a little gimpy right before that timeout. He came over to the bench, and Bill Self wanted to put him back in, and he said no. He was working with the athletic trainer. They were trying to work on that calf. He's now sitting back on the bench. Bill Self went over to him and said, you got to get ready to get back in there. Jim?
Well, they go with a lineup now that includes Brandon Green, number 14 with the ball right now.
And the 1-3-1, this is where Ellis can pop into that foul line, make some good decisions. And they got Green who can make that corner jumper.
Mason back out with it. Selden quickly to Ellis.
He's
and
tough.
Ellis knocks it down. He's got 17 for the game.
He's the calming effect.
I agree.
Right? Decisions, knockdown shots, pirouettes at the 10, you name it. Ellis delivers.
First bucket First bucket by Kansas in 6 minutes. And here's Brendan Green.
Right there, Purvis took Ellis' move. Driving left, spinning with the hook.
Well, he is in
right
the
over him.
attack mode, Jim. Amazing.
Quick work there by Purvis. He took on Green and
not a good shot. Automatic switch outside. Oh, I thought he lost it himself.
And as you said, Mr. Purvis, relentless at attacking the basket. Great footwork, tremendous touch. So much grit and resolve that he has. What a move.
Same play, that little baseline screen and pop Mason.
Mason right around Lucas. Selden now steps in, waits for the commit.
Great control, nice patience.
He's smooth and he's strong, isn't he?
Oh, what a nice combo he is. Strength and agility.
16 for Selden. Curtis, big three here. Long, pulled down by Ellis.
Once you get close, you must take good shots. Not that he can't make that, but boy, attacking the rim, he opens it up for other people.
Exactly.
Pinch post delivery.
Again, it's out to Selden. Turnaround shot.
Take it over.
In a row.
Now they have guys who know how to step up and take over.
Coach, I love Selden's control. Just kind of gets to his spot and gets it done on the offensive end.
Timeout. Timeout, Connecticut.
Meet the Hoopers, the all-star family. With Dad, Mom, Son, Grandpa, baby. With a good neighbor right next door, assisting them with life and so much more. It's the Hoopers. That's what you really want. Make it so you know you got to.
Well, the lead's back up to 13. And the rebounding advantage significant there, Raph.
Unbelievable, but seldom is heard a discouraging word when you've got a guy with this kind of talent. Seen him make threes, the ability to get in the lane, just amazing strength too. You
And
like
the
him?
next time down the floor, he did that.
Yes, I do like him. Man, can he play?
Purvis.
And look at Ellis down there to help out just in case.
Hamilton three.
Tough lefty. That's two tough shots, I think.
UConn getting back in the game by getting into the paint, into the free throw line, not settling.
That one in the Purvis one.
Yeah, exactly. Nice entry. Say goodnight. Lucas.
Are they the best team in basketball?
I'll tell you what, the way, yeah, I would agree. I thought you meant this year, but unbelievable how they make that pass. They seal beautifully, walk you up.
Gibbs
Get in.
bounces out. You
Can't
saw
get a break.
Danny Manning there in the Kansas fan section. As that rebound by Brandon Green brings it back up now for Kansas. Selden half expected him to make it the way he's been going.
And always the white shirts back. You don't get any breakaways, or seldom.
There you go. Into the basket. There you go.
Outside the Gibbs.
That's a good look. Good solid play. That's what their game plan was.
That's them. That's who they are. Draw and kick. Create scoring opportunities for your teammates.
And nobody wants to take it out here.
Green up ahead, Selden.
Numbers here if they want it.
Lucas says we'll go back out with it.
It's fun. Ellis gave it to him and said, hold on to it, get it back out.
And Selden too strong off there.
Lucas.
Crashing
Offensive foul.
No, they called a tie-up for a moment there. Then they got another overrule.
Yeah.
I think they got it right on that.
Yeah, Lucas came in, took the whole front line.
Sure looked like it.
You love his effort, attacking the glass, coming over the back on Bryma there.
And that's what rebounders do. Yeah, that's my trade.
Lucas has had a nice game.
He's over 10 or 11 rebounds, right? 10?
Exactly. 3 blocks. They've got Graham back on the floor. Devontae Graham. That tender ankle. Here's Adams. Had it on his hip. Never had control of it.
And Lucas coming over to help along with Ellis. They don't foul. You notice they give ground.
They pay attention.
Yep.
Detail. Talked about not fouling on penetration.
And speaks to that with only 7 free throw attempts for the Huskies in the game.
And Green can't get a look. Everybody knows the scouting report.
You can shoot it. Give him a chance. Ellis.
Well, he just knows how to play. Total confidence and composure.
Getting approval from Mr. Manning.
Mr. 1988 MOP. Danny and the Miracles. Brima.
Catch it. I think Mason on the back, Jim.
But Ellis, as you said, so composed. He's double teamed, dribbles out of the double team, and a little giant killer over Brima and Danny Manning.
Danny doesn't have to stand when he applauds. You know, everybody else has to get up and overlook the people in front of them.
Hey, when you did what he did at Kansas, you don't need to stand.
Show. You think he paid for his tickets?
I don't think so.
Where's his son? Or son? Evan got in the other night.
The move kind of looked like a Danny Manning move.
Here's Miller.
There you go.
And he's in the scoring column.
Yeah, they need him. I mean, he's a valuable commodity for this team, and it's been a struggle. A little upset at himself. He goes back on D.
And UConn's just down 12 points, so got to get a couple stops here.
Switching automatically on the wing, see?
Kansas smart to execute their offense. Make sure they get a good shot on this possession.
This is the right call, the block, no question.
Brima. It's his 4th. Monday on CBS, this team of geniuses is the world's best shot at survival. Get your smart on with a new Scorpion. Monday at 9/8 Central. Only CBS.
Do you want Brima picking up charges or blocking shots?
You're 7 feet tall. I hate to be critical of the young guy, but you can't take charges when you're 7 feet. Need him at the rim.
We approach the 4-minute mark and a margin 12. Mason fade away, pulled down by Brima.
Hanging around. Get good shots, get your balance defensively.
Got it down to 9 once, and that's a hold.
That's not a good foul. That distance from the floor, and Green was coming out before that.
Selden comes in for Brandon.
Yeah, that hurts. Stop the clock, give him a chance to get to 10.
And that's the 7th team foul on the Jayhawks. So Purvis at the line with 1-1.
Well, he's really shown some style, hasn't he, this kid?
Well, he played the NCAA tournament in Dayton, Ohio for NC State a couple of years ago. Scored only a couple of points as Temple knocked out the Wolfpack in that game. Transferred here. He's a 1,000-point scorer. And just a junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Jim, he and Devontae Graham, both from Raleigh, North Carolina. Played for the AAU team, Garner Road. How did they get out of Tobacco Road?
Yeah, I know.
I don't understand that talent.
Well, he wanted Carolina, right?
Yeah, Graham did.
Yeah,
Graham was a big Tar Heel fan.
And he looked at me when he said that.
Yeah, he did. There was some inner battles inside the family because a lot of Duke fans in the family. He was all Carolina.
There you go. The back door didn't work.
From Lucas.
Well, they set it up. You get over zealous. You get too aggressive. Pull the slip.
Hamilton, tough angle. Selden's the one there.
And Lucas is the guy as well that come over to negate that opportunity. Just the little things he does, you can see the mix and how he fits.
Mason shut off there by Gibbs.
Milking the clock a little bit.
Graham, top of the key. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Look at that look.
Look at the look of disdain Was that at you?
I think it was in your direction.
Anti-Duke, I think.
Anti-Duke, I think. Man, little one-on-one action. Graham, Raleigh versus Raleigh.
A little nylon.
And he looks over here.
That's you. It definitely is you. I was nice to him.
Back in Des Moines in the moment. The second round continues tomorrow at noon Eastern on CBS. Iowa Villanova at 5 Eastern. TNT gets into the action with the Infinity Tip-Off Show. 8 games across CBS, TNT, TBS, and True over 12 hours. By the way, the Graham shot has been changed to a 2. As you can see clearly on the line, but it's a 64-50 margin with 3 minutes to play.
Double high here. It's interesting. Double ball screen. A nice dive by Bryman. Boy, they're running some offense.
Kids ran it well that time. And they're going to pick up full court.
You usually see that out top, and a nice angle to it, that double high.
Mason breaks. Selvin floats.
Pretty. Ooh, catch it and finish.
At the Purvis.
You think they relish these two?
Uh-oh. Hamilton able to pull it down. Into the paint. Left hand. No. Bryman mistimed it.
And Lucas, strong. Aptly named. I'm thinking of Jerry Lucas with the ability that he had of rebounding. 1960 Ohio State champions.
And the score.
And the...
Score big time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was a much better jump shooter, no question.
Could also memorize a phone book or two along the way. Driving is Graham. And the whistle outside.
And I'll tell you, Bill, Kansas, the 2 perimeter players, Graham and Selden, stepping up. When their team needs a basket, their ability to make plays off the dribble really bailed out Kansas as UConn has tried to get back into this game.
You say Graham was in the act of shooting. Graham, you were talking about his love of North Carolina Tar Heels. He actually wasn't viewed at first as a big-time Division I prospect. After all the games are over, Matt Weiner, Seth Davis, Wally Zerbiak, and Vanderbilt head coach Kevin Stallings have all the highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, only on TBS. Yes, it wasn't all about Kansas for him, starring there right out of high school. He's going to go to Appalachian State.
Right, and one of the Capels, Jason, right? Left.
North Carolina grad.
Yeah, and they released him. What did they say? He was energetic and out in the community. Didn't his buddy say yesterday?
Exactly. On the corner. That 3 is wrong.
Look at his speed.
And look at Graham. That foot's not hurting any longer. He had one of those monster dunks in the Big 12 tournament.
Forget the Baylor dunk, Jim. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, this might have topped it.
This is hellacious. Where's Bobby Hurley to Hill?
Graham lobs it. Hello.
Woo! Look out below. Send it in, Sheldon.
As you said, a tremendous finish. Selden getting up. Woo! Eyes by the rim. But what a tremendous pass in transition. Selden, we know he can finish with authority.
How about the way Graham sold? Look at that reach back. Oh, that is incredible. Look at the loft, the softness, the catch. Unbelievable. But I love the way Graham sold it. Would made me believe he was going to take that layup.
Mason to Ellis.
Way smart, huh? He's like another leader, point guy. And give away by Purvis.
You're talking about a leader. And Bill Self wanted this team. He challenged them to find a leader. And it ends up they all kind of took on a role. They all in some way do lead. Graham is the voice. He's the one that's the community leader, as his teammates told us yesterday.
Right.
But you got the headiness of a Perry Ellis. The attention to detail of a Frank Mason. the talent all around of Selden. The emerging now presence of Lucas.
Well, you really have something when there are a lot of guys contributing in leadership roles. Complement one another. And of course, we see this during the tournament. One side rejoicing and the other saying, we should have played better.
This is a team that lost 4 times during the season. And only one of those teams is still around. They lost to Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Michigan State, Iowa State, the only one still in the tournament. A timeout called by UConn. Just a minute and 11 to go. And then Kansas can set its sights on the regional. Down to the final minute and 11 seconds here in Des Moines. It's been a wonderful host city. A lot of pride in the community here. We've really enjoyed our time. I mentioned before, Michigan State, one of the teams to beat Kansas this year. Of course, that might be the biggest shocker to see the Spartans get knocked out yesterday by Middle Tennessee State University. And they'll inbound it again. But there was this one shot. You talk about great shots of the first week of the tournament. You think about a dunk or a three-pointer or the half-court heave. But the one shot I may never forget is that shot from behind of the 3 seniors from Michigan State as Gibbs rattles home a 3. Valentine in the middle. Forbes and Costello by his side, draped over one another, walking off the floor after their season came to an end.
That tells it all. And we got to walk at the end of this, so this team not giving up. You know, that timeout was an I love you timeout by Kevin Ollie. You know, just just composed, trying to get them to just play out this last minute as effectively as they can. This team has done a lot for him and the university.
They pop a quick 3 again here. Maybe next time be talking about, I got it 2.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd time they've got it down to 9. But there's only 49 seconds left.
Well, you know, Jim, talking about Michigan State, that's what it's all about.
It is. It really,
that
truly
affection and love.
Well, they have the 4 years together to understand. They have that bond, that unbreakable bond. Grant, you can relate to that.
Yes, indeed. Not everybody's fortunate to win their last game their senior year. I know I went through that, losing to Arkansas my senior year. And the
94,
tears,
right?
1994 in the finals. And the tears flowing in the locker room, coming to the realization that you'll never play for that coach and that university ever again. A very emotional time. We saw that with Michigan State.
And that press conference, Jim, was heart-wrenching.
Oh, well, Izzo was fabulous, though.
Oh, my
Absolutely
God.
Fabulous. First class.
Crystallizes.
About, I'm not going to worry about next year right now. He's so connected to his players. But you have the great gift of getting to know these kids that are there for 4 years, like Denzel. And you hate to see him go.
No, you
really do, because you get to know their story, and you'll love to have the chance to try to tell their story.
And this year of this era of the one and done, as Mason's called for a foul. The ref's trying to calm the play down, but in this era of the one and done, coaches, fans, us in the media, we don't necessarily get to know these players.
Not well enough.
But a guy like Denzel Valentine and Matt Costello, we've watched them through the years. We've gotten a chance to get to know them. And if you're a Michigan State fan, your heart goes out to them knowing that they're no longer wearing that Spartan uniform.
Yeah, Brent Forbes, a senior, although he transferred in there. This Kansas team, though, you know, that feels like they've been around for a while. Now, Ellis is a senior. Well, you're talking about 3-year players in other cases like Mason and Selden. Lucas, he's a junior. There is that experience. And with the, 20 minutes we spent with them yesterday, I think we had a glimpse of an unbreakable bond right there.
Yeah, I do. I think a lifetime of affection for one another. There's something about the tournament, though, I think that it doesn't culminate a career, but it adds so much for the rest of your life, because you'll always be brought back to the campus for that reason. That NCAA team. Now, of course, if you go all the way, that adds a little more to it.
They're actually reviewing to see if this was a flagrant foul.
Just a good reach down.
Oh, no, it looked like Gibbs might have hit Mason in the face as he's driving to the basket.
A little push off.
A little love tap.
And I think they're just going to play it. And they're going to do something, I guess. This looks like a summit meeting. This is one of those deals. Get a little play on. Our fans agree a little bit. First time.
Some of the other teams that are talking about that chemistry that we've watched, we've admired, that you like to see. Virginia's got it. North Carolina's got it. Teams that are still in this tournament.
You didn't mention he'll be very upset. Did you say Duke, or did I miss it?
Well, they just don't have enough years together yet.
They had it in the first half tonight.
We have a regular common foul on white, number 0. We have a dead ball contact technical foul on blue, number 4.
Dead ball contact foul on Gibbs, and then a regular foul, right.
So even though the score is in favor of the Jayhawks, the officials here are calling it correctly down the stretch.
Gibbs will shoot his, then they'll go to the other end.
And I know Kevin Ollie disappointed his team could not play better, but has to be very proud of the young men on his bench. Had to win their conference tournament to get into the postseason. A three-quarter court shot by Adams kept them alive. Come here, and they could have folded at halftime down.
Oh, big time. They were down 24 at 40-16 with 3.5 to go in the first half.
You know, the connotation of flagrant, you know, it doesn't fit. That was like a hard basketball foul, right? Yeah. You know, you're trying to protect the basketball.
Now we'll go to the other end for the dead ball technical foul that was called against Connecticut.
Now this team here, Kansas, they have a lot of options to turn to. A lot of answers.
Coach, what do you think about this team as they move forward? Can they win it?
Yeah, they're one of those that can. You know, one of the many. We've said that all year long. Just solid. They got size, terrific defense, score, off through D, and mistakes.
Tonight on CBS, an FBI agent shoots his wife. Was he eliminating a threat, or was it a murder? It's an all-new 48 hours tonight. Only CBS after the game.
I think they're just going to play. Let's see if they're going to run a little trap, maybe. Yeah. Kevin Ollie just playing to the end. I like it.
That's Adams making the steal. Purvis driving in. He was stuck between going for it straight on or
using the glass, right?
Visiting the glass, and it's over. 11 seconds. Unless there's some sort of foul here. Selden stuck at the moment.
And have a nice little pirouette.
Showing off his pivot foot.
Yeah, without the music.
Kansas heading to the Sweet 16 with its 16th straight victory on the season. The Jayhawks trailed for less than 2 minutes over the course of these two games here in Des Moines. Headed to Louisville. Top of that bracket will be playing in the next round the winner of Maryland and Hawaii. They'll be meeting tomorrow. Miami's already advanced to Louisville with its victory earlier today against Wichita State. Fellas, it's been great fun.
Always a pleasure.
Can't wait, guys.
Fun.
Until next weekend. Absolute blast. Tune in to TNT and TBS now for live second round games. For Raft and Grant and Tracy, Jim Nance saying so long from Des Moines. On to the studio after this.